Okay, here's something from those. Jesus, keep things changing on me. Okay, hold on. Okay, it says here's something that is from, I guess, when people are received and acknowledged Mason in the third degree. Let's read what it says. God has subdued all things to himself. Then shall we receive the reward of our virtue by acquiring an immortal inheritance in those heavenly mansions. See, he's saying the same thing Russell said. Veiled from mortal eyes, where every secret of masonry will be revealed. Then shall the great Jehovah, the grand master of the universe, bid us enter into a celestial lodge where peace, order, and harmony eternally reign. Brethren who receive the most excellent master's degree are said to be received and acknowledged. And then it goes on. And this is also in this guy's video. You can stop it and read these things. So you see how Masonry is. So you don't want to put your trust in any man, in any society, any religion. If you're going to be saved, you're going to have to listen to the words of Jesus Christ alone. Not take the mark of the beast, you see. Because they don't want to tell you about that. Because Masons will tell you that, are going to tell you to take the mark of the beast. And they want to tell you that you got to stay close during that great tribulation. And that's the time when the New World Order, you see, is beginning. So they say, we may tell you things that you don't understand, but just do it, man. Just do it. No, we trust in Jesus Christ, okay? He's the master. We don't trust any man. We know the evil and the diabolicalness of evil men, and we don't want nothing to do with it. You know. Now this girl, Smurf girl, she's the one that says Jehovah is the devil, you know. And I try so hard to get through to these people. They never knew Jehovah. They never knew God. Otherwise, they wouldn't think they would never say he's the devil. Jehovah's not the devil. He hates the devils. He's going to destroy them all. That's your salvation. Jesus means Jehovah is salvation. So this girl claims that she was a spirit channeler for the Watchtower Society, that her family are Masons. They're all Masons. And she was a spirit channeler for the Watchtower Society. They called on devils to get knowledge to put in their magazines. Maybe that's why they got all these wrong dates and everything. Do I know whether she's telling the truth? No, but she knows. Let me read something to you that she wrote to me recently, though. Where is it? Okay, now it's over here. Okay, I'm fooling with stuff, you know, so I can do this. But be patient. Hang on. Okay, I got it over here. It says, okay, I'll find it. You just hang on. It's worth it. Okay, now she told me it's hard for me to speak up on this because she had all these videos on her channel. She just took them off. I said, come on, man, were you telling the truth? It was baloney, right? She says, it's hard for me to speak on this. I get such flack for telling what I went through. Being a part of the spirit-directed channel of communication. That's the Spiritism. And Mom and Dad being writers and researchers for Watchtower. It's hard for people to accept. There are not many who leave these families and have witnessed the cold, scary truth of what goes on and are willing to talk. I've never met anyone so far who has left and is willing to speak up. Most body members don't have kids other than Tony Morris, and his boys aren't talking. And so there are not any real witness to what happens. My parents were the few who had a child who left. Most writers are childless. This girl is an only child. But he didn't seem to experience what I did or saw the same things. He must have been in a different group, not Masonic maybe. Not everyone is involved in the same aspects. They call them rubes. the true believers. The rest cover up the lies. So I'll put her channel down there too. You can look at and judge for yourself. But the problem is, you see, you don't want to put your trust in any man. I remember when I was 19 and I went to the Kingdom Hall for the first time, and I thought there were cops in there. I thought, man, these people are undercover cops. These aren't people of God, you know, with all their suits and ties and everything. I mean, it looked like the CIA, you know. But some of them acted like it, you know. But even more so today, I think, when you look at the governing body and some pretty hard stuff, you know. And anyway, I started reading Revelation, and I saw the scripture in there about the image of the beast. I said, oh, that's who those people are. They're pretending to be Christians, but they're actually the image of the beast, you see, because they're the same thing, but just using Christian words. So I figured that out right off the bat, you know. So I never was deceived by them. But I did investigate. I did want to investigate more, and I did. And I found out a lot. And it horrified me. Scary stuff, you know. But anyway, you be the judge, you know. Those people that are really love God and love the truth, that are spiritual at all, you know. Because before I became interested in the Bible, I was like, I grew up in a beautiful place. And there was such purity there, you know. It wasn't until I got out of high school and got out in the world I saw how ugly it was. It was horrifying, you know. And so I was looking for a perfect world. But when I met Jehovah's Witnesses, I knew that they were not the people of God. They scared the hell out of me, you know. So but I wanted to learn more. I had never learned anything about the Bible, so I wanted to learn more about the Bible. And I did, but I never trusted those people. But I wanted to figure out, what are they up to? And it's just very interesting, you know. I don't trust any, never did. Only trust in God himself, you know. Jehovah, Yahweh. Actually, his name means to self-exist, the eternal one. From forever to forever, you know. That's why the King James says, I am that I am. I exist forever. You know, that's what his name means. And it says, some people say, well, it's to become. His name means to become. Well, yeah, he creates everything. He makes everything become. You know, he's the great existence, you know. He's the one that exists forever and ever. We may not exist forever, but he does, and he will. And if we believe on him, he promises us eternal life if we're faithful to him. And I want to be faithful to him, and I want to help people to know that he's the one. He's real. Now there are probably a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses that really believe in God, but I don't want them to take the mark of the beast, you know. I want them to listen to Jesus Christ when he says, when you see that abomination of desolation standing in the holy place, flee to the mountains. We don't want to take the mark of the beast, and we don't want to be slaughtered for it when we can escape, you know. God doesn't want us to slaughter, you know. We're brought as sheep to the slaughter, but God doesn't want that for us. If we follow his instructions of his Son, Son's the only way to God. Never has changed. Jesus didn't say there's going to come another prophet that's going to tell you different and listen to them. No, he's the one. And you don't add to his words nor take away from them. If you live the life of Jesus Christ, who didn't tell you to wear a suit and tie, who said foxes have holes, birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head, and didn't try to bog you down with all the commandments of men that nowhere exist anywhere in the Bible. You've got to strip the whole thing bare. That's why when I was in my early 30s, I sold everything, like Jesus said, gave it to the poor, I even gave things for them to sell. You know, and I said, you keep half of it, and you give me half of the money. And I just got rid of all of my material things. I wanted to follow Jesus Christ. He's the master. And if you read in Mark 12, I mean Luke 12, I believe it is, he talks about who is that faithful and discreet slave, you know, and he says, sell what you have and give alms and be ready for your master when he returns. He doesn't say acquire properties and join the Masons and be a big shots in the world. That's the way you'll help Christ. It's not. You got to follow Jesus, not the Masons, not the businessmen. We have a different business that we're trying to do, you know. And if I had a place to live, you know, I might be able to make some decent videos. I don't even have internet, you know. So this is hard for me in a van, but I don't think they're going to let me have another place to stay anymore. Maybe they will, I don't know. But it hasn't been that way, you know, for a while. A few years I've been in the van, and so trying to find a place, no place. Something goes wrong every time. Maybe that's God's will. But I hope I can get some of this information to somebody who needs it. If there's nobody, well, I tried, you see, because at least I have to try. That's all I have to do. I mean, that's at least I can do. But I have to do it, you know, because if I know the will of the Master and don't do it, then I'm going to be beaten with many stripes, because I know that the Master, you know. So follow Jesus Christ. There's no Trinity. There's no literal place of torture where God tortures people, because only Jesus Christ, if you're reading 1 Timothy, only He has immortality until He resurrects those that are also to receive immortality with Him, that would be kings and priests. But they haven't been resurrected yet. Why? Because Satan hasn't been hurled down to the heaven yet, from the heavens yet. The beast hasn't begun his 42-month reign of terror. See, these are things that I've known for so many years, and people like this Robert King stole all this stuff from me, and he made a big website, and he's still in darkness, you know. But it's just amazing what's going on. So I'm not trying to be famous, you know. I just want people. I'm just doing everything I can to teach people, even little by little. And it's working. It's getting out there, you know. So it just takes one person to tell two and all that, you know. And yeah, so that's all I have to say right now, I think. May God bless you.